Death is a teacher that is slow and patient. I dried my tears in soft cotton and wore linen to feel breeze on my skin. After my father's death, I learned how to see him and other things and other experiences, and separated the body from the person. Now he meets me as a hummingbird on my tobacco plant, or a soft, sweet breeze of inspiration in my studio, maybe a loving landing in a dream, or a sense of strength when I swallow my own fears. A body of ashes he left me, waiting to rest, asking me now to care for him in the afterlife like he's done for me in the living. I prepare myself through ripping the seams of how I have known his absence before and how I got through, and now I will know his absence now and get through. I used to water my grief with wine and pills and weed and anything that would help me feel away from my body. I had to punish myself the way that life felt like it was punishing me in a pandemic to experience death, and to only describe it as drowning in catastrophe. Of life seeming like a pattern of misery, regret, wake up, misery, regret, wake up, do it all over again, a drowning with no water. But I gave up trying to swim and learned a trick in floating. Sobriety as a raft, as a paddle, as a way out of the cycle of expecting peace from anywhere outside of myself. Sewing as a stroke of genius, a way to keep time outside of the body. When I'm alone, I can think of the hands that create my comfort, starting with the ones I own. I stopped working for 2 months after his passing. I didn't want to share music. I didn't have any craft left in me. There was no spark. I lost my will to share. There was no pattern for grieving, no end, but an elusive start that feels a little less tragic with time. I want to talk about it, yet never talk about it. I want to move on, but I want to stay here. But I do know that the loss, the way that it takes, it gives in very unexpected ways. I love the way my machine takes the fabric and slowly pulls it down. That slowness is a lesson I need now. As I stitch myself back together the same way, meticulously, with patience, with this quickness that comes from a knowledge. I don't know if it's possible to repair once you've been ripped open that way. But working with fabric has taught me that you can weave yourself back together using scraps, using new, using old, using whatever you have around you, and that distance can expand inside me. Months go by, and it seems more and more real that my healing is present. There's no way to describe how it feels to lose someone you love during a pandemic. Making this skirt with no idea in mind, just wanting to feel the same warmth I did from being with him, near him, or besides him. Wanting to touch the shirts that made him feel comfortable, worn by a body that created my body. I love him, so it's hard to let go. But maybe I can start to share again and let the grief become a practice in itself. Let the reworking, the reimagining, the intuitiveness that comes from living without a pattern. I lost my mind in grief, but found it again in my hands. I give to you this gift of one person uncovering what it means to be alive without their father. One person understanding what it means to give yourself back those gifts that he cannot be there to give you, or to witness, or to be present with you in a physical body. I make art because when life feels unmanageable, I always found this strange comfort in yarn or in thread or in just being alone with myself. So I hope that this inspires in you a way to wade in this intangible loss. I hope that you find comfort in your hands the way that mine have comforted me.